Hey, what's up, everybody? Decided to go out live just a couple minutes early. We are going to be here. Hold on a second. I'm gonna check my audio levels. Looks like those are okay. We're gonna check out KREA AI and the Enhancer 2.0, which is a really big improvement in the product. Over the past like month or so, I've used the real-time generation almost exclusively, and really haven't used the enhancer because I just wasn't very impressed with it. But this has been, let's just say, considerably better. So a couple things I'm going to do here is I already did the images. I didn't want us to have to wait on live stream for them to render out. So they're already done, but we'll still like maybe experiment with some. But I wanted some stuff for us to look at as we were doing it. First thing I have here, this is a comic that I kind of just threw together with one of my characters. I used a random name generator for a Czech woman, and it gave me two different names that I kind of threw in there, which should give us somewhat consistency as far as the character is concerned. And this is kind of the difference. There's the DAZ filament render even, which is just not a very good render engine. And then what it kind of turned it into, kind of made it look just a lot better. I do think that if I were to do this as like a real project, I would take each individual image and then do them separately so I could go in and prompt each individual one. But this still works pretty good for like a collage type thing. I do have a little, I had some poke through on the nipples, so I had to go through and cover those up so that doesn't quite look right, but still not too bad. Oops, I don't want to do that one. Let's see. So let's kind of go through some of the things that I've noticed so far today, because this just got launched today. First of all, let's start with I have one image that I just did a bunch of different experimentation on to see kind of how it looked. The first one is for some reason, this is the image that I got when I did a real-time generation of just the word bed. So I decided to throw it through into the enhancer and kept that prompt. And it made it look pretty good. This is a 2-time upscale, so it was a 512 up to 1024 by 1024. And this is just the no style, which I can relate to. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Cracker? How you doing, brother? Um, but kind of going down the list of things that I tried, I kept it on the same prompt, but did photorealistic here. One of the cool things now with KREA and Enhancer 2.0 is that you can actually zoom in, so you can kind of see without having to download, how it's going to look close up. Let's see, where did I? There's the digital art, which looks pretty cool. And you kind of notice there's a big difference between these two, even though it's the same source image. But it's still, for the most part, looks kind of like the same character. Where did I start using prompt? Okay, so here I started using the Czech woman's prompt with her two names in there. I found that if you use two random names, it gives you just a little bit better results on it and makes it more consistent. So, but at the same time, it's still utilizing the facial structure of the character. As we go, I'll show you this real quick, because this I put the same prompt in, the same person prompt, but it's obviously not the same person because the source image has a way different facial shape, so it's not going to be the same. So and where the best use case, in my opinion, on this is that you use a 3D modeling program and render it out, and then so you're using the same character over and over again, different poses, and then you bring them into KREA AI to make them look a little bit better. And I'm going to show you this one real quick. I tried one time to do an eight times upscale. I'm not even sure why they have this as an option, to be honest with you, because I've never seen it do a very good job. But this is a 512 to a 4096 or 4K. And look at that. It just really made some hallucinations pretty bad there. So I would not suggest at all using 8K. This is 4K on the digital art. Kind of okay. I think it's pretty good. This is, what is this, 4K still. This is the portrait. A lot of skin details in there. Here is 4K none. Now that's way too much skin detail. She looks rough. She looks like she's been in the sun a little bit too much, in my opinion. But you also notice that, as we get this kind of more washed out part of it, if you look at the source image, even though you can't see much detail, this part right here, down in the cheek, looks like it's more washed out. I have to remember my cursor's not showing up on this, I don't think so. But yeah, so the cheek is a little bit washed out, and so it's not really bringing much detail. So you got this line right here where it goes from detailed to not much detail, which doesn't make it look that great. What is this? This one's portrait by 2x. Um, that looks just way better. We got way more consistency, I think, in the skin texture. Um, I think that looks pretty good. Now, where this would really improve is if since I made these images in real time generation, if I would have, quick enhanced, they'd be 1024 by 1024, and then I can 2x them to 2K, and we get some pretty good results. So in the long run, that's probably the better option on it. Is to bring in, I would say, a 1K image and turn it to 2K. I think it's going to give you some really good results. But I will also say that even bringing in, like, let's say a 2K image and not even upscaling it, just enhancing it and just keeping it at 2K adds a lot of detail to it. That's another thing I was going to say real quick. I don't know if they still consider this as an upscaler. I do not consider it. I mean, yes, you can upscale it and put more detail in, but it's not a true upscaler. It is an enhancer because it is going to change the image quite a bit. Here's the 1K digital art, which I think looks pretty striking. Photorealistic. So this is where I'm going to kind of compare the different. Let's see, where do I start with the 1Ks with the same? Okay, so here's where we're going to start with the 1Ks with the different styles. Had a look at them, the same prompts. We have our style none, style photorealistic, which, I mean, it's really, they're both look pretty good. I think it's just personal preference. Here is the digital art, which I think that's what I prefer when I'm doing these types of things. If I'm going to do comics or whatever, the digital art is probably what I'm going to go for. I'm not really looking to make something realistic, but those options are there. Portrait. So now here's where I want to look at the difference between the portrait right here and what was it? It was photorealistic there. So to me, the portrait looks just more natural. This looks like somebody that you might meet on the streets or whatever. This is too detailed. It still kind of looks like maybe, once again, she's been in the sun just a little bit too long. It's kind of like if you had a bump map in a 3D software, and you had the normal map or the bump map, up a little bit too high, and the skin details just start coming out just a little bit too much. That's what it kind of looks like to me. So really, I'm not a huge fan of the photorealistic. I would much rather go with the digital art or the portrait if I'm looking for something a little bit more realistic. Once again, here's none, but at 2K, it's again really kind of rough. Yeah, I would definitely stay with doubling the size of it or less. Even if we were to go, let's take it and let's type in here and let's go 15. Well, no, because that'd be 3x. So let's go 768 by 768. So we're still adding some more detail to it because it's a little bit bigger, but we're going to not, we're not going to upscale it so much that it's adding too much detail. So we'll kind of look at that in just a second. The other one I kind of was working on was this character. And we have a couple different options. We have our, well, this, first of all, this is 512 by 512, keeping that so it's a little bit blurry. Here's the first 1K, but in style none, digital art. Let's see. Let's go. Oh shoot, we don't want to. Definitely don't want eight. Was that eight times? Holy crap! That actually, to be honest with you, I didn't realize that I did it 8 times. 4K on that. That's not. Whereas that other 4K, the upscaling it 8 times, looked really weird. This one doesn't look too bad. So we're going to keep it at 1024 by 1024, but let's go portrait and kind of see what it does with this. Now, when you're starting with a realistic looking image and you're going to digital art, from what I've found, it works or it looks much better than going from like a more animated look to photorealistic, just a little bit different. So here we go. And then we got this kind of like once again, here's what this is: photorealistic on from a animated looking image. I mean, not horrible, but kind of looks a little weird. What is that? Portrait right there. Now another option we have too is we have our AI strength. So let's bring that down just a little bit. We'll come back to that image here in just a second. We're going to go back to, which one were we doing? This one right here. So here we have portrait. That's not horrible. I definitely don't think that looks horrible at all. So not bad. Well, what else were we doing? We were going in here. Weren't we doing a new... What was this? Oh, this was the 768 by 768. So we're looking at that versus... I wish there was an easier way. Okay, so that's the portrait. So this one and this one. You know, I think if we look really close, we could see a huge difference. And we can see a big difference in both of them. I think when you try to upscale it maybe 1.5 times, I think you're getting some of the better results. You're getting more consistency while still making the original image look a lot better. So let's go back. What else were we doing here? We're going. Oh yeah, we already looked at that one. We're going to take this one. This is the portrait at a 0.5. Not too bad. And let's see. There's a style 9. Oh yeah, did we do this one as a... Let's do a realistic. Let's keep it at 0.6. But let's go digital art on this one. We'll enhance that real quick. And then let's go to something that's a little bit different, just not like a person. So we got a couch. Let's add just a little bit. Let's see. Let's go brown leather couch. We'll 2 times upscale it. And now with this, I think we want to go photorealistic instead of portrait, but let's do one of each. And let's do product also. I want to see what differences we have there. So we're going to go back to her. Oh yeah, because she's going to be on the, what do we do? The digital art. And if you notice, it's keeping the style pretty similar to what the original was, since it started off looking animated and this is still animated too. You notice a huge difference in the details on the ears. The eyes, even though if you notice, it changed the eye color. So that's something that if we wanted to keep the eye color consistently green like it was there, we'd have to prompt that. Did that do that to... That kind of kept it. Well, we got one blue eye, one green eye. Those are blue. So it appears that for the most part, it turned the eyes blue. So I'm not entirely sure why it would do that, but that is what happened. Look at the added detail to the diamonds right here. Now, this is great for still images. Oh, that's that. I think it tried to put an ear there, which is kind of weird. This is great, I think, for still images if you're going to do comic book stuff like that. Where these details can be a problem is if you're trying to do something animation wise. So if you had the same character in different poses or different frames and you try to animate, it's probably going to make those diamonds look different each time. And that's going to really mess with your animation. So that's why you need to make sure that if you're going to do animation, that your original um, source images have a lot of details. So what was it? This one we're doing? Okay. So here we have that couch, and we have what a photorealistic. If you notice, gosh, that really kept consistent, like in the details in the wall, in that painting. I feel like that's really consistent. A lot more detail in the cut. Let's do another one of those, but 4 times. Okay, so now we've got portrait. So let's see, we got photorealistic and portrait. Man, I don't think you can necessarily go wrong with either one of those, to be honest with you. And then we've got product. I would say definitely the photorealistic or the yeah, the photorealistic or the portrait looks the best there. But let's go digital art just to kind of see what it does there. I have no clue what to expect on this one, what it's going to do for digital art with a couch. Could be kind of interesting. Here we go. So what's this one here? This is that the one we already did the product one, right? Yeah, we're just waiting on 2 to go. Were we looking at? Okay, so I think we started another one here, right? I got to keep track of what I have. No, that's the same one that we did last time, isn't it? Did we have any new ones going? Was it this one? No, I think the only ones we had going was this. So this is the digital art. Honestly, I really don't know that there's much of any difference there. I wonder if I'd have to maybe up the AI strength to get anything to actually look different on that. So we're going to, oh yeah, we're trying to go 2K on that. So we're going to see what happens. See whether or not it keeps the details looking pretty consistently on a 4-time upscale. Now, one thing about KREA AI when it comes to Enhancer is that if you're a free user, you're going to be waiting a long time to get any images done. Their GPUs have been bogged down when they had unlimited access to the enhancer for everybody. So they had to make kind of the tough decision to really limit the free users so that the people that pay can, actually be able to use the service that they're paying for. So let's see. Here's the 4 times. So we have what is it? So that's photorealistic. Let's go here, and what is it? This one? I wonder if I can, no, I can't move them. So we got our, okay, so here's our 4 times, and here's our 2 times of the same one. Let's kind of get in. Get in there. Yeah, I would say there's some pretty good, let's look at where the painting is. Yeah, that really just, I feel like it's not changing the image too much, which is kind of cool. Here we got our, what is this? Let's see, what else do we have? We have the digital art, but at 0.81. So really, the digital art's going to make some pretty big differences in uh, like when you're doing characters and stuff. But man, that really didn't do much at all when it comes to doing a digital art on a couch. I don't know if 4 times would really do anything on it. Um, the other thing too is that we can't, as of right now, they don't allow us to erase these on the left side, which is kind of an issue. Um, you want to be able to purge your source images, and you can on the ones that you create, you can purge. Let's see. Let's try it. Let's do a realistic. Let's do a portrait on this one and see what it really does. This one's kind of doing the 4 times. It's going to take just a little bit. And this is still newer technology. They're still really working on it. So things do take a little bit longer than what they probably will in the future, or at least what I anticipate they will in the future. Let's see here. Oh, shoot. I did not realize I had that on a all the way up to 4K. I did not mean to do that at all. Get a little sip of coffee. Another thing I checked on this, and I'm pretty impressed, is that um, I took a VR side by side 180-degree image, um, and did both sides. So I did them both at the same time, and I put my VR headset on to check to see if how similar the two images were, because if the enhancer is keeping them similar enough that when you put your headset on, you're going to see a three-dimensional figure of the same person, and your eyes aren't really going to strain too much. Whereas if it makes them too different, your eyes are just going to be all messed up. It's going to actually almost hurt to look at the picture, because your left eye and your right eye are going to see two different things. And it did pretty well. It did pretty good until it got to like the feet and hands. But as far as the face and stuff like that, yeah, it did pretty well. You know what? I like that. I think that. So here's portrait. I mean, that's interesting. Um, yeah, I don't hate that at all. Like, I think that some of the other ones that went from, you know, cartoon look to realistic look kind of messed up, but I felt like that was pretty decent. Did I? Okay, maybe I didn't do any of them at 4K. So we got portrait here, portrait there. Had a lot of skin detail, didn't it? I'm actually fairly impressed with that. So let's try, let's throw in, um, I and Margot Robbie. So we'll do two different celebrity names just to make it go a little bit quicker. We'll do that at 768 by 768. Let's do two of those. Let's do digital art and then, yeah, digital art and then portrait to see what we end up getting out of this. Sorry, I need a little sip of coffee there. But either way, I really feel like KREA AI is doing better now. It's the enhancer was something that like I said, I didn't use at all for quite a while because I just felt like it was, honestly, I felt like it was garbage. But at the same time, I knew that the people in charge at KREA were really putting in a lot of work. So I knew that they'd eventually get it down, and I'm happy to say that they did. So yeah, there's that. You know, and this is the thing is you can tell when you put two different people's names in, even at the same weight, you could tell which one's the training assets had the most of, because you could see the one's face in there a lot more, even though I feel like maybe on the digital one it's got a little bit more Anya's face in it, a little less Margot's, whereas with the portrait it's definitely more of Margot's face on it. Um, so I should probably be careful, make sure that it doesn't decide to hallucinate something that shouldn't be there. But I think that stuff looks pretty good. Um, but yeah, if you have any questions on KREA AI and what it can accomplish right now, if you have any feedback, just let me know in the comments below. And I think that's all I have today. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and kind of give you people a rundown on some of the changes that KREA AI has made and their enhancer. And yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. I will see y'all later.